making shots, having threats on the floor. You have to be in position to attack a scouting report. And we're not the only staff in America that watches and comes up with scouting reports, and that's what teams are doing. They're coming up with scouting reports. And Andrew, I'm not like this analytic guy, but the numbers are the numbers. It's always been that way. And if you look at our numbers and say, we can space them right now because the ball's not going in the basket. And then the second part of that is that they're mimicking what they're seeing other teams do. So for us, like, to have good spacing. Now, I will add one little caveat there. You have to have pace. You have to have pace. And so that the game is a smooth game and not this, like almost like root canal without Novocaine. And look, I'm being honest, that's the way it feels right now. There's a grind, and we want to get into a flow. Spacing will come from better pace and better shot making.
And I take it you're confident you can get there with this group. You don't feel like, all right, we need to be a grind it out and start winning games in the 50s type of team.
Not an enjoyable style, but I will say at any means necessary, and absolutely, completely confident that the teaching, the drill work that we're doing, and the character of the players, not just the skill of the players, but the character of the players, we will get there.
Thank you.
Next up is Alejandro from Michigan Insider.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned earlier this year that Devontae Jones was doing things in games that were maybe uncharacteristic of him in practice. Specifically, it was foul trouble at that point. What sort of things are you seeing in practice that maybe he's not bringing out in games? What sort of things do you feel he still has to work on?
I think it's easier the second part is we want him to get lane touches. We want that ball to get into the paint, and not just through passing to Hunter or to Musa. We want to make sure that we get lane touches, and that he can then, to use the terminology, spray the ball around. And right now, we're seeing a little bit more of that each practice. But that's what we're really looking for. That's the key. Not worrying about shots, but making sure that the ball gets into the teeth of the defense, and that we can create our offenses off of penetration and pitching the ball. And again, the situations that he's in practice, it's there, but it's practice. When the popcorn's popping and the lights are bright, and everybody's watching, you want to make sure that there's a carryover from practice. He is spending an exorbitant amount of time with Howard Isley, film breakdown, conversations on the floor. Obviously, Jawan is a film aficionado, so all hands are on deck here, and again, complete confidence that Devontae will get there sooner rather than later.
Next question is Anthony Broom from the Wolverine.
Hey, Phil, on the flip side of that, when Frankie Collins has had to come in and spell Devontae, it hasn't seemed like so far the moment's been too big for him. What have you seen from him these last couple games?
I think you're exactly right. Like, it's not too big. He does carry himself in a way, like even in the way he walks into a practice, the way he goes through practice. I think that the insistence with him is last year when people saw him play on those national settings in the high school games, I think one of the things that came out was that he was relentless on defense. We need that, and he has been told that and not criticizing, but let's take this up another level. Let's not be safe. Let's get up there and let's put pressure on their ball as much as they're putting pressure on our ball. So his growth, to me, yes, he has to become a better shooter. That will be reps and a little alteration in his form, and we want to make sure that he becomes an elite foul shooter, and that he becomes, in the affectionate terms, the pit bull on defense that we have seen. And last year at this time, Mike Smith wasn't a pit bull, and then Juwan Howard stayed on him every minute of every day, of every practice, of every game, and it changed. And that's the same that we will expect from Frankie.